This video examines historical cases and legal decisions within the context of American government and constitutional law, presented for educational purposes only. This content is presented for educational purposes only and examines historical cases and legal decisions within the context of American government and constitutional law. Welcome to POS 2041, American National Government, focusing on civic knowledge, power, and responsibility. Our focus is on American national government and the critical concepts of civic knowledge, power, and responsibility. Our theme is Understanding Government, Understanding Ourselves. As Thomas Jefferson said, the price of freedom is eternal vigilance. Reflecting on Jefferson's quote, we consider that understanding government requires eternal vigilance to maintain freedom. From a personal perspective, growing up, I saw how laws shaped lives. My own experiences taught me the stakes of civic knowledge. This personal reflection highlights how experiences demonstrate the deep connection between laws and the importance of civic knowledge. The foundations of American government rely on the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and the separation of powers. These documents and principles, including the separation of powers among the legislative, executive, and judicial branches, form the bedrock of the U.S. system. Reflecting on these foundations, structure brings stability in government and in life. The stability derived from a strong governmental structure is mirrored by the stability sought in personal life. The three branches of government are defined by their functions. The legislative branch makes laws, the executive enforces them, and the judicial interprets them. This clear division of labor among the three branches ensures a system of checks and balances within the government. The balance of power among the branches mirrors personal discipline. Body, mind, and faith must work together. The necessity for balance in governance serves as a metaphor for the discipline required for personal well-being and integration. In thinking about federalism and state power, living in Louisiana, Pennsylvania, and Florida showed me how local rules impact daily life. Personal experience across various states illustrates the direct impact of local and state rules, highlighting the reality of federalism. Regarding political participation, even small actions matter. Registering to vote was a vital lesson in responsibility and voice. This reflects the significance of every citizen's voice and the fundamental responsibility that comes with political participation, like voting. Civil rights and liberties are essential components of our government, focused on protecting freedom and ensuring equality for all. My memoir illustrates how rights, or the lack thereof, deeply affect opportunity and justice for individuals and communities. This slide serves as a visual break, emphasizing the theme of civil rights and liberties. Government and society are intertwined. Policy shapes fundamental areas like education, health, and public safety. This visual highlights the broad reach of government policy across different sectors of society. From water testing to driving for Uber, I have witnessed government decisions directly affect everyday survival and well-being. This visual reinforces the pervasive impact of government actions on daily life, from infrastructure to modern services. We now examine scary historical cases of abuse of power and government failure, starting with Dred Scott versus Sandford in 1857. The Dred Scott decision tragically demonstrated how courts could reinforce inequality by denying citizenship and rights to Black Americans, treating them as property. Next is Plessy versus Ferguson in 1896, which legalized racial segregation under the false pretense of separate but equal, normalizing discrimination for decades. Plessy versus Ferguson is a stark example of how the government can normalize and institutionalize discrimination through legal rulings. The Japanese-American internment from 1942 to 1945 saw over 120,000 people, including U.S. citizens, imprisoned without trial, approved by the Supreme Court in Korematsu versus United States. This historical failure shows how national security concerns can be used as an excuse to suspend fundamental civil liberties based on race and fear. Finally, the Tuskegee syphilis study from 1932 to 1972 involved the U.S. government intentionally leaving Black men untreated, leading to preventable deaths and medical mistrust. The Tuskegee study is a powerful example of governmental misconduct that created lasting generational trauma and deeply impacted medical trust. These cases raise controversial questions. Can a constitutional legal system be unjust? When does national security become oppression? Does equality under law mean equality in real life? These critical questions challenge us to consider the ethical and practical limits of government power and justice. In the realm of race, gender, and inequality, laws governing women's bodies have historically been decided by male-dominated legislatures and courts, illustrating how power structures determine whose rights are protected. This visual reminds us that legal systems reflect societal power, often resulting in unequal protection for different groups. Under the theme of deaths, violence, and state power, COINTELPRO, from 1956 to 1971, involved the FBI secretly targeting civil rights leaders with surveillance, harassment, and psychological warfare. COINTELPRO exemplifies how state power can be used illegally to disrupt and discredit domestic political movements and opposition. The MOVE bombing in 1985 saw the Philadelphia Police Department drop a bomb on a residential home, killing 11 people, including 5 children, highlighting unchecked government violence. The MOVE bombing serves as a shocking illustration of a domestic government using excessive, deadly force against its own citizens. Focusing on police power and qualified immunity, courts have often shielded law enforcement from accountability, even in cases of high-profile deaths that spark national outrage and protest. These incidents raise core questions: who enforces the law? Who is above the law? And who ultimately decides accountability when state power results in death or injury?